All right, this video is going to go over conditional statements and specifically what's called short circuit evaluation. This is something that's kind of, I don't know, a tricky thing that they might throw at you on the AP test. So the idea is that when you have an and or an or, you have two parts. And so for an or, if the first part is true, it's not even going to evaluate the second part. The reason being, if you do true or anything, whatever, it's automatically going to be true, right? You only need either part to be true. So once the first part is true, it doesn't even check the second part, right? So that's what it means by short circuit is it finds that this is true and then it doesn't even do the rest of it. Similarly, on an and statement, if you have something that's false and something else, whatever, it's not even going to run the whatever because this whole thing has to be false. False and anything is automatically going to be false. All right, so where this might happen is I have some sort of example code here where say that we're having a pizza party and we're going to have so many pieces of pizza and then people, we want to make sure that people have at least like 4 pieces of pizza to eat. All right. So basically we want to check if like pieces divided by 4 is greater, pieces divided by people is greater than 4. And I actually probably should have an equal to, because if you have exactly 4 pieces for each person, that's probably okay. So anyways, so the point of this is if I want to divide pieces by people, this has the potential to create a divide by 0 situation, right? Say that, I'm not very popular or something, so there's going to be 0 people at my party. So if I take 100 pieces divided by 0, it's going to blow up and give me an error. All right, so this is a good way to use this short circuit because it says if the people is not equal to 0 and when we divide it's greater than or equal to 4, then we have enough, right? Otherwise, we probably got to order some more pizza. All right. So the point being, it won't even do this division if this part fails. So if the people not equal to 0, if that is false, meaning it is 0, then it won't do this division, right? So we can avoid the divide by 0 error by putting the little check right here in our conditional statement, right? And if you look at this, it's actually kind of flawed. Maybe this would be a good time for you to actually kind of pause this and see if you can figure out what's the flaw actually in this logic. All right, so it's kind of tricky, but actually in this case, if we did have 0 people, it would actually say order more people, right? Because this first part would be false, people not equal to 0, because it is equal to 0, so this should be false, and then it's going to run the else and say order more pizza if there's 0 people. So maybe we would have to like do an else if, here we could do else if people is not equal to 0, right? We could do that here maybe if people not equal 0, then we want to order more pizza, right? We don't always want to do it, just make sure if we actually have people, then we need to order more pizza. All right, one more example of this is, say we wanted to do, have the user enter their name, and we want to check if it starts with A, all right? And if it does, we're gonna do something cool. All right, so pause the video and see what might make this program blow up. Like when could it fail? All right, so hopefully you can see that the problem is this requires them to enter a string that's at least 1 length long, right? And users being what they are, do all sorts of crazy things. And if you don't believe me, I got tons of stories. What a simple one time at my company, they charged one of our customers like $2 million for shipping. So they typed in a shipping amount and they typed $2 million. And so apparently my program was supposed to check to make sure that they're not charging people millions of dollars for shipping. But at any rate, so what would make this blow up is if the user just didn't enter anything, right? Because this is going to assume that it has at least 1 letter. So if we do this, we get a boom, we get a string index out of bounds exception because 0 to 1 doesn't exist. Okay, so what we could do with short circuit evaluation, we could say we want to do like if name.length is greater than 0 and we start with A, then we'll do something cool, right? So this will get around the problem because it won't even run the and part if the first part is false. So if name.length is not greater than 0, it's not even going to bother to run this. So if we kind of do it one more time here, and the user types nothing again, now our program doesn't blow up. It short circuit evaluates and never runs this second check back here. Okay, so this is something you could see on an AP test, and it's just, you got to know that in certain situations, the second part of a conditional might not run, depending on what happens in the first part. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching.